If 2021 is as good as 2020 was bad, what will we see happen in 2021? You know that episode of Futurama where Fry gets a bunch of intelligent space worms and they make him super smart, Riddick strong, and even heal his wounds and stuff. That happens but for everyone. Even better if there's no worms. My headcanon is that the worms were actually a dangerous parasite that were slowly hollowing Fry out and were going to take his body and destroy his brain. The benefits he got were just the worms preparing his body for the takeover. And all this is why the professor tried so hard to get rid of them. Because otherwise why the hell doesn't everyone have these guys? IDK. I think it's fine how it was. The worms made him better, but clearly someone that he wasn't. Leela finally fell in love with him, but he realized it wasn't him. She was in love with it was the creatures that now control him. He chose to be his flawed human self, rather than a perfect symbiotic host human. I actually think the fact that the worms weren't damaging to Fry made it an even better moral struggle. Is it better to be loved for someone you're not or not loved at all? Great episode regardless. He realized it wasn't him. She was in love with it was the creatures that now control him. Is it better to be loved for someone you're not or not loved at all? Part of the reason I love Futurama so much is how this isn't even exactly how it happened. It's how Fry interpreted the way things were. I know Leela says, I love what you've become. But at the same time, this isn't a different Fry. The worms weren't mind controlling him. It was more like they gave him the ability to be his best self by taking care of his muscles. They made him stronger by reversing the brain damage from everything Fry does. They made him smarter and gave him impulse control. Fry was intrinsically always the person portrayed in the worm episode, but it wasn't exactly his personality. They would have repaired his brain and he would have been taken over with mind control by the Dark One. I'll get insanely happy. Edit. I'm so overwhelmed with response. Thanks for all the awards and upvotes. I really want all you to get happy, too, not just me. Or just insane. Few more months of quarantine and we are all set. That was last year for me. Someone finally cracks nuclear fusion. And we start to fix climate change. Gotta push this back 30 years again. If it's really efficient, we could use the extra energy to make carbon capture machines. After offsetting all the fossil fuels, then it doesn't really matter. Well, if we are speculating, how about heat capture? Some sleep-deprived researcher cracks how to capture ambient thermal energy and turn it into electricity. Heat being as plentiful as wind or water, it becomes not only a prominent source of energy, but also actively cools the planet. 50 years later, we begin arguing over global cooling and the threat of a new ice age. Laws of thermodynamics say this unfortunately is never happening. Cure for cancer. Cute for AIDS and an Outcast reunion tour. Since when AIDS is cute? It's not. Yet. This said by a happy alien sounds a little unsettling. Don't worry. We aren't going to do anything. Yet. A cheap, effective way to recycle all plastic. Because life is so much easier if we can use it. I'm trying really hard to go zero waste. But it's not easy. And although I know that I'm not saving the world by reducing plastic and single-use items, I'm going to keep doing it. This is the right attitude. This is the way. This is the way. Common sense actually becomes common. That would probably put me out of a job as a customer service rep. No, it wouldn't. But it would stop people from being ever-loving pieces of shit to you. They would be thankful for your help. And in turn, you'd more likely go the extra mile for them. Agree. They'd be friendly, affably, humble and willing to admit they're struggling to understand something. They'd take instruction and then say they get it or don't. But either way, they'd thank you for the help. And the angry ones would maybe shout and rant a bit but then apologize. Say they realize it's not your fault and then maybe listen to instruction or advice. Worst case, they go away and rant some more at someone or something else because you can't do anything except give them the complaints hotline or something. A low cost, low calorie, nutritious, tasty dietary supplement that acts as an aphrodisiac and a birth control. Drink the sperm. Uncle? No, but I can be. What are you doing, step uncle? The coronavirus vaccine provides some level of protection against other coronaviruses that cause the common cold, hitting two birds with one stone. Edit. In case you want to comment two birds stoned and feel really clever, there are currently about 50 guys ahead of you. Like the bird flu, or the swine flu, pigs might fly. If pigs can learn to fly, will they become known as birds? Probably no more likely than birds being called feather pigs. But I'd be okay with that. Benevolent super AI cures cancer, reverses climate change, creates foglets out of nanotechnology to deal with pollution, and bring in a post-scarcity world. We want Ohio. Love, Death and Robots reference? Great show if so, and don't hear a lot about it. It's a fantastic show. Every short episode could be made into its own movie. I think Sunny's Edge would lose a little bit if it was made into a full movie. It's just the right length it needs to be to tell the story that it tells. Nothing extra, nothing missing. It ends up being a Groundhog's Day, and we wake up on January 1st, 2020. We get a chance to fix everything. Like everyone is Groundhog's Day'd? That's an interesting movie idea. Well, considering the scale of 2020, yeah, it would take everyone to fix this disaster of a year. Too bad a lot of people are delusional and will go on to make the same mistakes or even worse ones. If in this timeline people brought down 5G towers because they caused the coronavirus, maybe in the next timeline people will destroy cure research centers with claim that the scientists are intending to create a stronger virus or some weird shit like that. Wuhan would definitely be attacked. Knights of the Old Republic, I eat it. Holy shit, this blew up. Thanks for all the awards. May the force be with you. If this happens, I'm going to cry. If it happens next year, it means it's made by EA and only really Cotter 3 in name. Let's face it, whatever Cotter 3 was going to be had died like Darth Plagueis. Georgia. Martin finally releases The Winds of Winter. Okay, that is a bit too optimistic. Edit. What imbecile gave me a gold award for this shit? Yeah, maybe pick something realistic like world peace, like sudden end of climate change, or like an actual dragon. Transcending to the stars as a whole human race, except Clark. She gets left behind, and the 12 others that can't have kids ever again. At least there's a dog, but the dog gets lost. Those posts that say share this photo of $1 million to have it appear in your bank account will start working, leading to runaway inflation. Now, it just subtracts the already in circulation money from greedy oligarchs. Then as we all stabilize toward the mean, we all start falling into the greedy oligarch pool. Now, those greedy oligarchs would just start jacking up prices on everything, so we are all poor again. We will discover that we are not alone in the universe. We will learn this because they will fly down and tell us they were watching from afar and that they thought we needed a hug after watching the disaster 2020 had become, or were hugged from an alien. How comforting. I'm here for you, bro. r/userna checks out. Imagine God just comes from a stairway and says, sorry, my creation department had a leak, it's all fixed now. 2020 is the gas leak year. That's why I'm seeing everyone as puppets. It's horrible. Every time I turn on the news, it is all about some silly orange muppet. They would release PC2. Just gets an update. There is 5D chess with multiverse time travel. Like $5 on Steam, I think. Pretty fun game. Played that game for the first time last week. My friend led me to believe it was normal chess. When he did his first time travel to an alternate universe move, I thought I was having a stroke. The queen's aneurysm. All babies affected by corona turn into the Avengers. Avengers. Don't assemble. Stay 6 feet apart. Avengers. Disassemble. I love you 3,000 feet away from you. Perfectly distanced, as all things should be. I'll find a job/career that's sustainable and I love. I'll meet someone that I fall in love with and I'll be happy. But that won't happen. I hope it happens for you. I'm rooting for you. I feel similarly, but we can't give up hope. This gives me strong I also choose this guy's wife vibes for some reason. You made me laugh. Thank you. Cure for cancer. Far as I'm concerned, this would be the correct answer. The main reason 2020 is a clusterfuck is due to corona. Most people are putting stuff that would be the opposite of all the bad of the last century, not just 2020. If I could only pick one thing, I would say an end to global warming over cancer. Edit. Figured you could prevent a lot of cancer deaths in addition. You have to phrase your genie wish just right. This is a very interesting predicament. Global warming affects everybody, but cancer is a more present threat, as in we can see the effects of death right now. I think that fixing global warming would probably be better, as a cure for cancer is more likely to be profitable, so we can trust big corporations to handle that. I mean, we are seeing the effects and deaths from global warming right now too. It's just that certain people in powerful positions don't think it's important that poor people die from significantly stronger hurricanes and storms and floods than ever before in recorded history. Not to mention heat waves that make certain inhabited regions practically inhabitable during summer. Firefly Season 2. Kaylee and Simon have a kid. A girl. Super intelligent and has a knack for mechanical work. But her hero is Uncle Malcolm. She wants to be just like him. So the group decided to send Jane along with her on her adventures. This is their story, and somewhere along the way they meet Zoe and Wash's kid. You mean somewhere along the way they meet Wash, who is alive and well, and having a lovely retirement with his beautiful wife. These things are not mutually exclusive. My dad will come back to life. Edit. Thanks for the awards and nice comments, people. Also the zombie comments. That was cool too. Sorry to hear this. Hope you're staying strong over there. Nicolas Cage musical reboot of The Passion of the Christ. Not the nails. I can't get past the feeling that 2021 is going to be way worse. The thing that worries me more than anything is that we shall all find out in the next decade or so that on the grand scale of things, 2020 was a mild discomfort compared to how bad it could be. I share the same concern. The thing is, the 20th century was one goddamn unprecedented nightmare after the other for at least half the time. Most of us on Reddit are just too young to have experienced the main events. WWI, Great Depression, WWII, Cold War related wars and depression, and B, born in a country that was more quickly insulated from problems and benefited from global inequity and rapid technological development. There's no good reason yet to believe the 21st century should be significantly better. I mean, the first 20% of this century have been pretty sweet compared to the 20th. You're right. Really, it's just been harder than the previous 20 years had been, so everyone is upset about it, lol. Robin Williams reveals it was all a prank. Dead Poets Society 2 drops. Here come the waterworks. Freaking corona finally gets straight up cucked by a cure. That's just to break even. We need some compensation. Due to all the funding poured into research, we now have a vaccine for the common cold. COVID develops sentience, and all of it leaps from the folks it's infecting and travels from all across the globe to one central location. The world looks on in horror as so many viral bodies form together in a mass. They become visible to the human eye. Larger and larger it grows until all the virus has gathered and a form. A figure takes shape. Agonizingly slowly, the virus thing turns its head left, then right, and then left once more. The infectious maw yawns open. Columns of viral tentacles jutting ominously from within, and the thing begins to speak. Oh shit. I'm sorry dudes. I didn't realize I did that. Don't worry. I can fix it. A whiptail, like a scorpion's dipped in toxic waste, sweeps gently over the onlooking crowd, and among the gasps and startled shrieks a wave of warmth ripples over the land. All around the world, horrors begin somehow reversing. The lives taken, apparently accidentally, are restored, and people's loved ones find themselves back home unharmed. Herman Cain takes back his Twitter account. But more and more, all over, people realize no one should be persecuted for being a different color, worshipping someone else, loving someone else, or what have you. Genocidal impulses are wiped out of humanity. No one seeks to inflict harm on others, legally or physically. Wealth inequality is cured, and everyone is thriving. The environment is fixed. As a final act, The corona thing gestures once more, and everyone gets a PS5 because it wants more players to compete against for the current popular shooter. The thing waves to the crowd and then vanishes as the particles break apart and sink deep down into the earth. And by the way, please call me Steve. Never really like being called COVID. Togashi emerging from the depths of the dark continent with a new season of Hunter x Hunter. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos.